Hello everybody, my name is RickyG and welcome back to another Game Maker tutorial. So I've noticed that there aren't actually any tutorials for how to make an Undertale fan game in Game Maker, which is a bit weird considering Undertale was made in Game Maker. So I'm going to be doing this series, which will teach you how to make an Undertale fan game, and we'll cover stuff like the menu, the overworld, battle systems, saving, stuff like that. In this episode we're only going to make a basic menu and start the overworld. So let's create a group called menu and put a sprite in it called sprite menu begin. Now most of the rooms and all of the views in Undertale are 320 by 240. So let's color this in, get some yellow text and type in begin game. Now you can do whatever you want, it could be new game, start, whatever, doesn't matter. And down here I guess I'll just put Undertale example by RickyG, just so that it looks less empty. So there we go, we got a basic menu, pretty good. So now let's duplicate this and call this sprite menu continue. So that first one we did is the menu that will appear when the player doesn't have a save yet and they can just begin the game. So now we're going to make a menu in which the player does have a save and they can continue or reset. So let's put continue here, and in white text let's put in reset. There we go. Simple enough. So now let's copy this and paste it, and now color this in white and put reset in yellow instead. There we go. So now we have two images in here in this sprite, one that has continue highlighted and one that has reset highlighted. Now this will allow the player, like when we program it, to select between these two options depending on what they want to do. So now that that's done, let's put in the player. This is a spoiler, the real player's name is Frisk, so we're going to be calling it that. So I'm actually going to import some sprites from Undertale, since it'll make this go by faster. Okay, there we go. Simple enough. So now we have a static sprite and a moving sprite for each of these directions. Now, the origin here is set to a very specific spot, and these are actually very important because they change depending on what direction Frisk is moving in, and that's so it shifts the player so that they don't get stuck in the wall. So you're going to want to, keep these in mind and do these to your own Frisk sprites. So here I've set it to 914, 914, 1014, 1014 again, 814, and 814 here, 914, and 914. And it does matter which direction these go in. So there we go. That's pretty good. So now we're going to make a group called game. And in here, we're going to make a sprite called sprite solid. Make it 32 by 32, the default. Let's put in red and set the opacity so that it's transparent. There we go. Now we got that. Let's make another one. Oh, what am I doing? Duplicate it and have this called sprite door. And replace this to a different color. So we're going to use blue. Now add sprite empty. Do it 32 by 32 and set the opacity right down to 1 so that you can't even see anything. So there we go. Now we have, this is pretty much all we're gonna need for this video, so that's pretty good. Okay, so let's put in a new group in objects called menu and put in object menu. There we go. And letter. So when we key press Z or Z, I don't know. we're going to want it to go to the next room. Some people also use enter instead of Z, so you might want to put that as an option as well, so that both can be used. So that's pretty much all we're going to need for menu. Now we're going to need a group called rooms. So this is the stuff we're going to put in our rooms. Let's start off by having obj solid. Put that there. There we go. Now when rooms start, we want it to change its sprite. So sprite index equals sprite empty. This is so that we don't see it when it starts up. There's probably a different way of doing that, but I don't know. I just don't do it that way. And now we're going to want to create Frisk, or player, I guess. And set the def to -1. And let's start with Frisk down. Okay, so keyboard left. So I have a really nice way of doing movement. It checks if there's an object solid. Well, in this specific case, it's going to check if it's to our left. And if it's not, then we can jump to the left. There we go. So that's what that's doing, is checking if there's the object solid to our left. If there isn't, we can move left. And this is really cool because it allows you to slide against the walls really smoothly. And this is what I use in Undertale, so it's pretty good. So now we're going to want to duplicate this and put in up. So now with up, it's going to switch them around. There we go. Duplicate. Let's do right. So now we're going to 3, 0, 3, 0. Duplicate this and put in down, which is them switched around. There we go. So now we can move, but we want Frisk to be able to change the sprite for when they move. So what we're going to do in here is we're going to put if sprite index equals s frisk, what is this, left? Yeah. Sprite index equals s frisk left m. So that's our moving sprite for Frisk. So there we go. And if sprite index equals s frisk left, right, sprite index equals s frisk left m. So there we go. We can actually copy and paste this to make this go by faster. There we go. So now I'm doing this in a very specific way so that it only changes sprite if we're either just standing still and looking right, or if we're moving right and then we suddenly change left. But we're not going to change it if we're moving up or down. We're just going to change it if we're just standing still and looking in those directions. So there we go. That's all we need for that one. Let's just put this over here so that we can do right instead. And we just simply switch them around. There we go. Just change all of these to right. There we go. So now we're gonna do this for up. Going to do if sprite index equals s frisk up, sprite index equals s frisk up m. And then we can just copy that right, down, and left. There we go. So if we're already moving left or right, it's not going to change the sprite. So that's why we don't have one for frisk right M and frisk right left M as well. So there, that's all we need for up. Copy that, put in here. There we go. So let's change this to down, and down here let's change this to up. And just paste these. So there we go. Now Frisk changes sprites. But when key releases left, we're going to want it to change the sprite. So sprite index equals s frisk left m. Sprite index equals s frisk left. And I'm pretty sure that's all we're going to need. Duplicate, release right. So just change these to right. Duplicate, do the same for up. And now for down. So there we go. And also what we're going to want to do, room start. Actually, let's do it for that. So what I did with Undertale is that whenever the room starts, we're going to want the sprite to be the opposite of what it was. And I'll tell you why in a minute. So there we go. So now we have a frisk that can move around, and it bumps in, it can stop when it touches a solid object. So there we go. So now what we're going to need is we're going to need another sprite. We could just put it anywhere we want. Let's call this hallway. So what I have here is I have an organized file that's filled with these nice little folders that have organized sprites from Undertale. I'll actually leave the download link in the description below so that you guys can download this. And we're going to use some sprites from Toriel's house. So let's get this hallway. And we're going to put that in there. Might as well color in that mirror. There we go. Actually, maybe it should be that color. Okay, there we go. Since we're not going to program mirrors. So now we're going to want to make some backgrounds instead. So how about background room 1, make it 320 by 240, and let's get this one. So what room is this? Actually no, let's get the other one. Let's get the room Toriel gives to Frisk. So let's paste it in here. Put it like there. And do that. There we go. And now let's get background room 2. And also make this 320 by 240. And get Tori's room. There we go. So now we have these, And the reason this is a sprite and not a background is because, well, backgrounds, they take up less memory than sprites because they're simply just backgrounds and they don't do anything. And we're doing this as a sprite because I don't actually want it as a background because we can do something different with it. So put this down here, object hallway. Now you don't actually have to do these rooms, these are just what I'm doing as an example, so you won't have to do any of this. Well, your rooms will most likely be backgrounds, but I'm just doing this as a sprite for a specific reason. So let's start by making the menu. Room menu 320 by 240. Just put the room in there. And we're also going to enable views. So do the view 320 by 240, but the port on screen you'll want to be 640 by 480. This is so that when we minimize it and put the game in a window, it'll be bigger. It'll be twice as big actually, because otherwise it's just going to be really small. So there we go. Now we have the menu. And now let's do another room. Just clear this. Make this persistent. And do room hallway. So I'm pretty sure it's, what is it, 745156? The size of the hallway. And it's not. Well, I'm pretty sure it is. Okay, there we go. Put it in there. Oh wait, did I actually make the room that size? Oops. Nope, that's not what I wanted. There we go, this is what I want. So now we're gonna want to put this at the very bottom, just like in Undertale. So now we've got this hallway, and there's a view, but we want it to be able to follow Frisk. So we're gonna do that, and put this at an extremely high number. It's probably another way to do it. Maybe there isn't. I really don't know. This is just the way I do it. And there, that's all. So now we have Frisk in this room, but we still need to add the solids. So we're going to put this here. Now we're going to put this so that it's not covering the whole wall, so that Frisk can come up to the wall, basically. Let's actually put this up a bit higher. Not too high though. About, yeah, about there. And just put Frisk there. And a solid here so that they can't get out. And nope. Down here. There we go. And now we're going to stretch this across. And this. And you want to keep this size from here to here the same across all these. And actually, since this is a lock door, we won't need to worry about it. And put a solid here. So there we go. We're also going to want to do it with these. Now, if you have any questions about what I'm doing, feel free to ask in the comments, and I will most likely answer. So there we go, that's all we're going to need for now. We're going to create an object called obj_door1. Put it there. Put it as a door. And when rooms start, we want it to switch to the empty sprite. So there we go. And then we're going to need another one, door 2, and then we're going to need door back. Alright. So what we're going to do is we're going to put door 1 here. And then door 2. Actually, let's put this a little bit down. So around there. And door 2 will go here as well. Those sizes are different. Probably not a good thing. Oh well, what are you gonna do? That's all we're gonna need for that room. So now let's make a new room. You can just duplicate it. Room, I don't know, bedroom 1, I guess. Clear all this. 320, 240, already there. So we don't need the background color anymore because we have this. We have this nice background, and let's start by putting Frisk in here. Now this room does not need to be persistent. Let's actually set this to 1 to make it a bit more exact. Now the way you place these solids doesn't have to be like extremely perfect, like aligning with the wall exactly. You can just do something like that so that it stretches out even more than it needs to. And Frisk can't go here, so we're gonna put more solids. Put a solid there. And here. That should actually do. So there we go. Let's actually put a little bit, tiny bit more there. Okay, that's good. So now we're going to put door back right here. Good. So now we can put room, bedroom 2. Clear all that since we don't need it, and change the background to room 2. And put the solids up against the wall. So there we go, and now we just need to add Frisk and door back. There we go. So now let's see what happens. Well, actually first, I almost forgot, we need to make collisions. So when we collide with object door 1, we'll want to go to bedroom 1. And when we collide with object door 2, we want to go to bedroom 2. And when we collide with door back, we're going to want to go back to the hallway. There we go. So now it should work. There we go. Oh, I also forgot something important. You'll need to check this so that the game doesn't get all blurry. So when it opens, we can also rename this UT example if we so wanted. And don't display the splash screen, we don't need it. Interpolate colors between pixels. Make sure that is off, because what that does is going to make the game very blurry and it won't look very good at all. So there we go, now we have it. Begin game, we can press Z, and there we go. Now we have Frisk here. There we go, and we can't get out of the room. We can go in here. Now we can't interact with stuff yet. But we can also go in here. Let's test some of these collisions. See if we can slide smoothly against the wall, which is good. And this room does nothing. So yeah, now we have a working overworld. So next episode, I'm probably going to start focusing on text boxes and maybe saving. Though most likely just text boxes and interactions, since that's one of the most important things in Undertale. So thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like. It'll let me know that you do want more of these. We will eventually get to the battle system, because I know that's what a lot of people want. Yeah. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.